Hello and welcome to Pepper's Anime Club. This is the last episode of 2019. I'll have more videos in 2020. And we're going to talk about, and by we I mean I am, going to be talking about my favorite shows of 2019. That's right. The next video will be about 2020, the winter season of anime. Of course, I'll be watching some of the holdovers from this season, like Fire Force. There'll be some more episodes, and Black Clover, is still ongoing. There'll be a couple ones that will be wrapping up in December, but a few more that will be moving on into January. Because I believe Fire Force is so behind that it'll actually go into January, which is rough for them. But still good for me because I like that show a lot. And more on them a little later, right? Anyway, I'm not talking about 2020, I'm talking about 2019. And so what I did was I compiled a bunch of photos for the shows that I liked, and I'll talk about them briefly. I'm going to count them right now, 3, 6, 9 shows that I really liked, and 3 that really disappointed me. That's right. At the end of this video, I'm going to list the 3 that disappointed me. Below in the comments, what were your favorite shows? What were your least favorite shows? What were shows that you started watching and gave up on? I had a few of those. What are shows that you came to later? Welcome to Demon School is a show that I came in late and I'm enjoying. And I'm going to keep watching, especially because a bunch of my shows this season just ended. Like Food Wars and a bunch of other things wrapped up, and now I have less shows to watch, so it will be carrying on. I'm trying to think of the shows that finished up. We Never Learned season 2. A few things, Dr. Stone wrapped up. A bunch of stuff that ended. Didn't I Say to My Abilities Average ended? A bunch of shows. So anyway, let's look at the first one. Wow, I scrolled there weirdly. Sorry about that. Fire Force. I just talked about Fire Force. Fire Force is, in my opinion, way underrated as far as shonen goes. Now, 2019 should be known as the year where shonen was king. The big heavy hitters. Shows I won't talk about in this one. My Hero Academia season 4 I think is good, but I think it's taken too long to get great, and the great stuff hasn't really come yet. It's getting there. So that didn't make my list, but it's solid. One Piece. Whole King Island wrapped up. Wano started. It's been dragging in places, but it's still overall, it feels like there's new life to it. And then a bunch of shonen shows that I'll talk about in this one. Shonen was king in 2019, and Fire Force is overlooked. Now, is there a character that is tough to recommend because the way that they sexualize her for comedy is awful? Yes. Is it worse than other shows' problematic characters? I don't think so. Maybe. It's not a show I can recommend without a caveat, and that's rough. But it is a solid show that focuses on both found family and actual family, and the fight scenes. This show isn't even done yet, and I know that we've got more incredible fight scenes to come. The fire animation is beautiful. The characters are, shallow in the beginning, and there are layers of depth. There are layers of depth. There's layers of depth to them, and they shine by the end. I highly, highly recommend Fire Force. Let's keep going. I spent too much time on that. So let's go to the next one. Demon Slayer. This is a show that I watched the first couple episodes and I was like, yeah, all right. I don't see what the big deal is. And then I kept hearing people say, but Demon Slayer. But Demon Slayer. But Demon Slayer. And then I was like, fine. I'll watch Demon Slayer. And yeah, it's fucking great. I don't know what else to say. Good boy, good girl. Working hard. Friends. Maybe the least of the shonen, the least problematic side character, the one that is just, and I will say the least only because his bullshit chivalrism and trying to hit on girls is shut down at every opportunity. And then towards the end, literally characters are just like, hey, you need to work on this. You gotta be better. You can't be living like this, which I appreciate. But also, this does not have to be a character quirk. Gross does not need to be a character trait in Shonen. Let's get rid of it in 2020. We won't at all. Demon Slayer. Beautiful. Again, fight animation. Incredible. Family, both found family, and your own family. The tragedy, but also just some characters you're really great villains. People you really want to beat up. And also, I think in 2019, I think in Shonen was some of the villains were a little weak, and not in Demon Slayer. All right, moving on. Okay, Black Clover. Over 100 episodes. In this photo, you don't even see two of the characters that were added this year. Two new members of the family. Henry, my boy Henry. I could not find a good photo that included Henry. I don't care about the other guy. He's whatever. Fine, whatever. But my boy Henry, my boy Gordon. Talk about my boy Gordon. My boy Gordon in 2019. He whispers, right? He's the goth weirdo. He's the Marilyn Manson guy. His magic is poison magic. He's already a weirdo. People want to stay away from him. They don't want anything to do with him, right? Even amongst the people that he's with, they just think he's the mumbling, whispering guy. He found his voice in 2019 because his family was in trouble, and he stepped up. And everybody steps up in Black Clover. Yes, Gotch sucks. He sucks the most. He gets the most suck award because him being a Lolicon and a Syscon is played for comedy, and it sucks. It sucks so much. I hate it so much. You've got, on the plus side, you've got fun characters. Gray also coming into her own, finding her place. The fact that she learned a new magic to be more support because she realized I'm a support character. Not a support character. I'm a support fighter. And my transformation magic is only so effective. So she learned magic that transforms other magic, which is such a great support move. She's awesome. Henry, as I said, my boy Henry, who's not in this photo. The mysterious ghost, the person that was changing the shape of the very base they lived in, stepping up and finally being with his family. Charmy, one of my favorite characters of the year. And last year as well. Charmy rules. New depth to Charmy. Really funny moments and then really cool badass moments. That's what you want from a minor character. Finral stepping up. Vanessa stepping up. Everybody stepping up. Yami being Yami. Doing his thing. Asta learning new stuff. Trying his best. Having moments of failure, which is great for a shonen protagonist. And also, he doesn't yell as much. I'm yelling more than he does in 2019. Anyway, I talked a lot about Black Clover, but I do love it very much. Mob Psycho Season 2. Holy shit, Mob Psycho Season 2. Mob. Another one of my boys. Mob. Mob is so great in this show. This season, his growth as a person, his realization that of the fears he's had as and using his abilities, and then when he starts getting a little too confident in those abilities, being brought home. The fact that he can't solve problems on his own. He does need his support system. And his support system is stronger than ever and there for him. A lot of good callbacks to the first season. A lot of minor characters that the fans love showing up again. A little bit of romance here and there. Not too shabby. All in all, great. I don't think this is official art. I actually think that I accidentally just picked some fan art, and I apologize for that. But it looked cool, and I ended up picking it. Mob. Great show. I gotta move faster on this. I'm gonna be here all night. Dr. Stone. Hey, is Dr. Stone great? No. Is it good? Yes. Does that make it great? Actually, it does. Honestly. Look. Is it a shonen? Is it an isekai? Is it exactly what I thought it would be when it started? No. Is the science bullshit? Yes. Does it have great characters? 100%. Even our cocky know-it-all has moments of doubt and moments of surprise. It's really impactful. The drama of it is really strong in a way that I didn't think would be. There's some awesome characters, like as I said. Everything from our little detective who wears the melon, just crying, which she can finally see things and feeling, finding her place, to the old man. Oh man, the old man craftsman who was always weird and people always looked at him funny because he liked to build things and he was strange. And he started making things like shields and the bridges and the various things just to feel useful. So people wanted him around. And he found science buddies. There's literally a moment in the show where he agrees to do something. And he says, I want to do that thing you did with Chrome. Which is just a high five, like the walk by each other high five. He just wants buddies. And he's like, oh, I wish I had that what you guys have. And they're like, well, you have that. The age doesn't matter. We're all science buddies. Science buddies! Oh, it's great. And the animation is fluid and beautiful. And the fights, which are few and far between, are impactful and mean something. And yes, there is a villain that you want to beat. And you want the Kingdom of Science to win. Yeah, as far as the main cast goes, there's one guy who's like kind of a jerk. And there's one dude who's definitely a jerk and is helping out, but whatever. Anyway, there's some real good people, and it's really fun. And I really like Dr. Stone. What am I supposed to say? Here's a show. Is it wrong to try to pick up Girls in a Dungeon Season 2? Did not make a big splash this year. I thought it would. Don Michi is great. This show is hit or miss. I felt like the first couple episodes were going to be what the season was about, and that was not the case. And then it meandered, and then it ended with episodes that should have been the middle of another season, and not really the, climax of the show. But the drama was solid, and look, they made the Familia. They finally did what you wanted as you watched the first season. They came together, and it was fucking strong and cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with it. Was there a problematic storyline about deservedness and sex work that was resolved in a way that they took the wind out of, and by going like, oh, actually, yeah. So that's not great. The action was good, and Bel's still a great dude. Bel is still a great dude. Stepping up. I'm looking forward to seeing more. I just took a break to have a little water, and now I'm back to talk about that time I got reincarnated as a slime. It's the only isekai on my list, which is really surprising. We talked a lot about shonen, and Don Michi, I would categorize as a shonen. It's an action-adventure. It's definitely that. It does take some RPG stuff and isekai stuff that is popular into it, but it's not. But anyway, yeah, That Time I Got Reincarnated Slime is an isekai. And even though I watched 20 fucking isekais this year, most of them were okay to... hey, 2 of the 3 shows I'm most disappointed in are isekais. So, even though it's a genre that I watch a lot of, this was the only one that really stood out. There are a few that I liked. I will say that, there was a good chance that Didn't I Say to Make My Abilities Average in the Next Life would have made my list, but there were a few episodes that were just meh, and they didn't really do anything, and I felt like it was trying to stretch. So it stuck the landing, but it didn't hit the highs of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, which is, I would say, the best iteration of modern isekai. Don't watch the OVAs. They're bad OVAs, friends, so don't watch those OVAs. But enjoy this show. He's a good slime. Sanrio Girl. Again, I don't have a lot of slice of life. There wasn't a lot of slice of life in 2019. I know that I'm already going to get more in 2020. I believe in January there are 3 of them. So, they're coming. Sanrio Girl is a beautiful show. It's a half-length episode, so they're 12, 13 minutes. Totally doable. Please watch it. It is a lovely show. But a girl that communicates best by writing things down, writing poems. A delinquent that isn't a delinquent. He just looks like one. And they're blossoming love. And the support characters are great. You see them in the photo. They're lovely. Everyone's got a fun, weird quirk. There's a lot of callback gags that are very fun. The over-sexualized character, that's her gimmick, that's her thing. She's not used too often, which is great because she's my least favorite part of the show. And yeah, I just think it's a solid, lovely little piece. Nanako rules. And the little girl that's later in the show, that's a little sister, calls her Nananko. And that's very fun to me. Anyway, Nanako, one of my favorite characters of the year. Just a great girl. Speaking of great girls, all of the great girls are in After School Dice Club. What a lovely show. Did I cry during the last episode? You bet your ass I did. This show is beautiful and lovely. It is a fantastic show. It is a love letter to games and what games can do. It's not just about board games and tabletop games and dice games and card games. It's about coming together. It's about a person that always wondered, looked around and said, what's it like to have fun? What's it like to be a fun person? And found family and finding that fun and ambition and drive and failure and success and finding your people in the world and then being scared to lose that. It's poignant and lovely. It's a show that talks with reverence about game design, philosophy, and game designers. It's just a great show. I can't say enough good things about After School Dice Club. It's my favorite show of the year. And I wasn't going to list these. These were not in an order. They were order of, like, you know, style or whatever. Demon Slayer's going to win all the awards, I'm sure. But After School Dice Club won my heart. It's a show that I needed in 2019. It's on Funimation and Hulu, and you should watch it. Okay, so we talked about the good. Let's talk about the bad. And in particular, we got to talk about the 3 disappointing shows. Now, were there a bunch of shows that I was just like, meh, like Cautious Hero, Demon Lord Retry, basically all the isekais. Wise Man's Grandchild almost made my list, but it did turn around towards the end where I thought it was going to be much more interesting. And even Rising the Shield Hero, which is still a very problematic show that people are not willing to talk about the problematic elements of it for some reason. For some reason, it does get a pass. Those shows aren't on there. They snuck by with a warning. Hey, isekais, let's get the harem out. Let's just, come on, please. But here are the 3 that I wanted to talk about. One Punch Man Season 2. Now, this is not as bad as the other ones. And it's bad for a very particular reason, which is, 1, the animation style is poorer than the first season. The first 2 episodes looked so bad, I thought it was Hulu in Chrome, and I switched to Firefox because I was like, oh, this will get rid of my stuttering problem. And then it didn't. It's just not good. The animation just isn't good. And the other thing that's bad about One Punch Man Season 2 is not the fault of the animation. It's a fault of the manga, which is our designer fell out of love with Saitama. Saitama constantly questions what it means to be a superhero, while other people belittle the idea, and he gets mad at them. But then he also questions it himself. And the show falls into a trap that a lot of media falls into, which is, oh no, I made a villain that's so cool, maybe he's not a villain. He's a fucking villain. And I don't care if he's justified, he is a villain. And I think that this show has great action moments in it and great action scenes. Awesome characters, like Metal Bat's in the background of this photo. Metal Bat should just be his own spin-off thing. King, I love the idea of King and the King engine and what that actually means. But yeah, I think the Monster Association stuff I don't care about. Here's the thing about One Punch Man. I don't care about any villain in the show because One Punch Man can beat them. We know that. We know that One Punch Man could win. We know that Saitama, Baldy Cape, whatever his name is, Captain Bald. We know that Saitama can win. So it's about the moments. I think the martial arts tournament was pretty fun. That's what I'm saying. It's disappointing, but it wasn't. It's only disappointing because the first season was so good. And also because Mob Psycho Season 2 was so good that I had high hopes for One Punch Man. And it, didn't pay off. Oh, this video is long. Let's do it. Kimono Michi, rise up. If you watch my streams, you know how disappointed I am in this show. I'm not going to get into it too much here. Look, it's a run-of-the-mill isekai. I don't think it's funny. I think other people like it, the humor in it. I don't. So that's already going to be knocked because a show that's supposed to be a comedy that I don't find funny, I'm never going to love. The thing that I actually get really disappointed about this show is that, and this is the legitimate, I feel legitimate criticism. It's a isekai about a wrestler who doesn't want to defeat demon beasts and wants to open up a pet store, which is the best motherfucking premise I've ever heard for an isekai. And that's why it's on my disappointed list. Because it should be the best show. It's an isekai about a wrestler who doesn't want to wrestle. So it's an isekai that it should be a slice of life posing as an isekai with a wrestling main character. It's not that. Maybe that's my fault for wanting what I don't get, but I'm still fucking disappointed. Ari Fuerza. Oh, this could have been a great isekai. This could have been a great series. Now, overlooking the fact that the animation is balls, that they had to take I think at least 1 week off because they were just like, we do not have enough time for this. The CG animation, the computer generated fight scene stuff is very bad. I'd be interested to see at the Blu-ray release because I know the Blu-rays are coming out. I'd be interested to see what they do with those. So here's the thing. I love an isekai where the character isn't immediately awesome. They have to get there, right? He struggles. Hajime fails. He's trying his best, but he's the weakest of them. It's from commonplace to strongest. And he's commonplace. He's weaker than some humans in the world his classmates were sent to protect. And even when he is surviving and thriving and trying to get better, and his only idea is, forget it, I'm going home. I don't care about this. I don't care about the war. I don't care the reason we were summoned. I'm getting back to Earth. He meets a cool vampire. He's going to stick around with it. His instincts to protect still exist. You can see through the edgelord persona that he is presenting, because he does look like a goddamn edgelord. And then we meet the bunny girl, and then it becomes a harem isekai. Because you can see in this photo, which is just a screenshot, you got the bunny girl, you've got the vampire, you've got the lady there is a dragon. She's a dragon lady. It turns out that she likes to be talked down to. Her kink is to be disrespected. And you live in your kinks, my friends. My friends out there, you live your truths, you live your lives. It seems out of nowhere and is just played for laughs. And the show doesn't seem to think it's cool. The show thinks that she's a crazy person, which is awful. And also, look, it's a harem, blah, blah, blah. There's also a little mermaid girl. She calls him Papa. He hates it. But then, immediately is just like, yep, this is my daughter. You're gonna threaten my daughter? I'll kill you. And he gets called an edgelord, which is great. I appreciate that he gets called out on it. I would have overlooked the bad animation because the story was interesting. And I'm really bummed about how it fell apart. Just completely fell apart. It's a real shame. I'm just disappointed in Ari Fuerza. It could have been so much better than it is. And then it ends. Look, hey, I guess I'm wrong. They did 13 episodes. There's gonna be another season. Another season's coming out next year. We're not even gonna have to wait that long for more. The girl that always loved him, that always encouraged him, is joining the crew, so there'll be a lot of hijinks with that. I'm sure there's going to be at least one more character that wants to bone him that will show up. They certainly made it appear that one of the other characters is also in love with him, but like knows she's not going to try anything. It's a whole thing. They got to defeat some more stuff. Why did I do disappointing last? Why did I do that? Why did I end with disappointing? Anyway, look. Here, I'll give you this. I'm going to talk about it in my next video. I'll be talking about some of the new shows in 2020 I'll be watching. What are the shows that you love this year? What are the shows you're looking forward to next year? Leave it a note in the comments. Let me know what you're excited about for 2020. Let me know what you loved this year. And you can let me know what disappointed you as well. If you loved something that I didn't include, let me know. If you loved something that I was disappointed in, let me know. If you were disappointed in something that I loved, let me know. And then, of course, I want to leave a little bit positive. So I'm going to tell you, starting in January, Heya Camp will be out. Heya Camp is the side series for Laid Back Camp. It is the short comedic take. I believe it is basically room camp, the little jokes at the end. I don't know the length. I don't know how many episodes. I don't know the episode length, other than it's called short series. So it could be 3 minutes. It could be 12 minutes. It could be 5 minutes. But it's Laid Back Camp, and I think it's focusing on the Outdoors Club. It's not season 2, which is coming. It's not the movie, which is coming. But it is more Laid Back Camp in 2020, so the year is starting off great. Anyway, that's me. Thanks for watching this video. Leave a comment below. Tell your friends if they were like, hey, what was good in 2019? You're like, I don't know. I watched Boruto. That's it. I didn't see anything else. I don't know. You can send them this video. And I hope you have a great rest of your year. And I hope your next year starts off awesome. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.